Hey, it's me, Lacey. Gonna do a card read for you today. I've already shuffled them, so here we go. Let's see what we get today. I'm gonna start out with the tarot card. And I do have an oracle deck, a couple oracle decks that I can use. Let's see what the cards have to say. Got two cards here. We got the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups.
I grew up always on the bigger side.
There is the Nine of Cups. And there is the Knight of Cups. We got a knight riding on a bunny.
Really allowed me to stick to all of
these are two cards I'm not very familiar with, so let's see here.
Because I wasn't being overpowered by my cravings. Country gave me the power to move forward.
So the Knight of Cups is a figure astride a giant rabbit, lifts a glass, reveling in the whimsy and wonder of the softness of this journey. They'll probably write a poem about it later. Time for grand gestures and strong feelings. A romantic person who loves love. Blue and sensitive, intense and mysterious. So usually the knight represents a male figure. There's a page, a knight, and a king. In that order. Usually page is like a younger male, maybe teens or 20s. And then you have your knight, who would have like a 20s to 30s mentality. You have your king, who has like 40s and up mentality. Just sometimes it's even 70s aged mentality. Like it's just more of a mature person, more of a mature male. So the Knight of Cups, who is cups are emotions. So it's going to be a not quite immature male, more leaning towards mature, I guess. Leaning towards mature male, and he's riding a bunny, which I think that's just very, very creative to me. He's holding up a glass, and as if to celebrate. Says they'll probably write a poem about it later. They're a very emotional person, a romantic person who loves to love. So, and then we also got the Nine of Cups, which is a comfortably seated figure, lifts the glass. Again, we're lifting the glass in celebration. By an accumulated collection of fine wines, feeling contented and secure in emotions, satisfied and satiated. A time for taking pleasure in accomplishments and enjoying success. A dream fulfilled. Raise a glass and make a wish. So what we want to know about,
They like to go get it. But parents, they like
let's see what the cards want to tell us.
Thankfully, with AutoShip from Chewy Pharmacy,
Let's see here. What do the cards want to tell us about this Knight of Cups? Who is reveling in the moment?
It's the easy way to get your pet's prescriptions. Plus,
Yeah,
get 35%
what
off
about
your
this
first
Knight of
AutoShip order at Chewy Pharmacy.
Having a moment with the cards here. They're just exploding with energy. Okay, we got one card. Ooh, the Seven of Pentacles. Let's see here. Which way do we go with that? And back. So about the Seven of Pentacles, like I don't get these cards ever. This is so cool. I love reading about new cards that I'm not extremely familiar with. A figure sits high in the branches, patiently waiting for a well-tended tree to bloom and bring their work to fruition. Blossoming fruit, a time for evaluating progress and planning for the next stage. Preparing for the harvest and what might follow, trusting in future rewards. So this knight right now is basically patiently waiting, celebrating his success, his fruit. Alright. I mean, to be honest, those cards, it's only 3. Those look like really good, happy cards. Like, they look very comfortable. This Knight of Cups, who is you. I'm assuming you are the Knight of Cups. Seems to be a pretty good set right now. Pretty comfortable. So I'm going to grab another deck. I'm going to ask again if there's anything you need to know. And like I said, I shuffled these cards before I started. So, what? There are 3 of them here? Ooh. Looks like I got 3, 4, 5 cards. So yet again, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Just confirming different deck. So there we go. That's what it looks like from this deck. And you've got this card twice now, so you have definitely planned some sort of. You've sowed something, and it's beginning to bear fruit, and you were watching and waiting patiently. And we've also got this. Ooh, another 7. I like those numbers. 7's a good number. We get the 7 of Swords though. And the Swords are a little bit more about conflicts. Or like their mental issues. Like circumstances is what I like to say. So we've also got the 7 of Swords. Basically, this guy is walking away from the circus. I don't know if you saw the circus there in the cards behind him, but right behind him, behind those 2 swords there that he's left behind, there is a circus back there full of tents. That's what I call a circus. The flag is on him and everything. He's looking back at what he's left behind, and possibly a tent village. You know, I mean, it could be that. But he's taking his issues and leaving a few behind. Starting on a new adventure. Which brings me to the rest of these cards are swords as well. Brings me to we got this one. I like to call this the trip card. It's the 6 of Swords. Usually you are escaping a situation, a very turbulent situation. Notice all the water on one side It is very turbulent, but where they're headed, it is very calm. They are headed across the water to a safe place. They're taking with them a lot of mental issues, a lot of complications, a lot of trauma. But usually this card means it's time to move on. I've also got the Two of Swords. Now the Two of Swords gives us two different paths, two different choices. Okay? She is blindfolded. She's got rocky water behind her and steady ground in front of her. She can pick one way or the other. Will she take off the blindfold? Will she choose? What will she choose? Excuse me. What will he choose? There's a Queen of Swords. I don't get this one very often, so give me a second. Let me look it up. An independent, unbiased judgment, clear boundaries, and direct communication. Typically represents a female as well. The Queen of Swords combines mental clarity and intellectual power of the Suit of Swords with the maturity and receptiveness of the Queen. You have the gift of being able to use your intellect and unbiased judgment while also remaining flexible and open to receive input from other sources. As you lead from the head and not the heart, you are better able to discern situations without the influence of emotion or sentimentality. You may believe that empathy or compassion towards others will distract you from the task at hand. Instead, you prefer to know the how, what, why, where, when, and who of everything to help you make sense of your environment and better understand others. It is not that you do not care about others, but you connect with other people through an intellectual understanding rather than an emotional one. Typically, the Queen's going to represent a not very mature, but a mature female in your life. Possibly someone who's going to help you with this sword journey, making a choice, moving on from that choice, and the past mental issues that you've had over these choices. Like you've got some traveling cards here to say that you're gonna go on a little adventure once you make a choice. Kind of looking at the cards, it kind of looks like your two choices is the Queen of Swords or the Six and Seven of Swords. Seems like you have the choice to stay with the Queen of Swords right here. Keep this person around. Stay around this person. I don't know. Or distance yourself from them. Move on to new adventures. Well, that was quite interesting. We're going to go over to the Oracle cards. What do they need to know about their choices? Now I already shuffled them. I wanted to give them another good shuffle and cut. Alright. Let's see what these cards have to say about your choices that you'll be making. Got one card so far. You got the full spectrum card. Number 26, the full spectrum. Creating heaven on earth by honoring perfection in nature's cycles. Going beyond judgment of good and bad. The merging of duality, raw nature, earth wisdom connecting to ancestors. Shadows as the fertile soil for exponential growth. The way forward is in the whispering of the land, honoring the full spectrum of life. Step out of the black and white mentality of judgment. Go beyond the concepts of good and bad. This card invites you to honor the full spectrum of life and find a new way of perceiving your situation. When we judge something, we create a story around it. These stories often create limitations. Subconsciously, we gather many of these stories over a lifetime. To heal our disease and crystallize the new way, we need to create space of no story where miraculous healing can happen. This space empowers us to be all we are and allows us to know our truth. Embrace the full spectrum of creation in all her colors and the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of the situation to determine whether they are actually bad or if stories you have held onto are limiting your perspective. Or maybe if it's time to build a new story. A new chapter. And last but not least, we're going to ask Alice. I love these little cards. They're Alice in Wonderland cards. And I'm just going to ask what the cards want you to know again. What do they want you to know? Shuffle them again. Okay. Let's see if we can get a couple cards, one or two to pull out here. What do you need to know? Ooh, they're thinking about it. What do they want to tell you today? Got 1, 2. Ooh.
How many drinks you have last night? Just a few.
Alright, I think we got 6 cards on the check.
It's Sunday.
I did not expect that many.
Where's Connor? I don't know. Amber Alert. Jesus. It's Connor. Connor, the guitar player. Jesus Christ. What are we gonna do with you guys, bro? What? Look at what your girl just posted. 4,000.
So the first one we're going to come across is
They're friends. They do this all the time.
this little one right here. Law is not justice. Rules that are not fair.
Y'all have been cracking jokes. She's been with her nephew.
We have believe. Strange encounters.
No, dude. Friends with benefits.
6 choices. We have the choices coming up yet again. Choices. It also says feeling blocked or restrained. Means it's time to make some new choices if you're feeling blocked and restrained. You are rare and free. There are not many like you.
But me and Sean been working on something I think will cheer you up. Come check it out.
Okay. Uncertainty. You choose who you will become.
Talk about an FWB. This right here, this a freaking wild button. Lazy to crazy.
And belong to your own dream. You create your own life. Well,
Freestyle, bro. Come on. Freestyle? I don't know, man. I'm not
so we're going to start out with, let me grab my phone because that's where these cards and meanings are, is my phone.
It's not. Just let it go. Let it go. Bro, sit, come on. Quit. Stop. Hey. Quit. Stop.
So let's see here.
Alright, I'll post something too.
We're going to start with law is not justice. And that's number 30. Rules that are not fair. Let the jury consider their verdict, the king said, for about the 20th time that day. No, said the queen. Sentence first, verdict afterwards. The situation Alice finds herself in is patently unfair. The situation Alice finds herself in is patently unfair. No one should be judged, convicted, or served a sentence prior to the evidence being heard, but this is the situation Alice finds herself within. This could be what is taking place in your world. Unfair as it may be, someone wants to judge you before they know you, convict you before they understand your side of the story. And they most certainly have not examined any evidence. Nevertheless, they wish to judge. As Alice so bravely does, you must speak up and say it is unfair and wrong. It is not right for you to be judged, but another person wishes to do so. Unless you speak up, there could be very strong consequences. When you are told to be quiet and to tolerate the judgments being made about you, this card urges you to speak up against your injustice and object to what is taking place. Your opinion of yourself is what is most valuable. You can state your case clearly and with strength and power, and in doing so will help you remember just how strong you are, how very admired you are, how worthwhile and decent you are. You are worthy of respect, fairness, and kindness. You are being treated poorly? Speak up. When you do so, the spell will be broken and people will see that your side of the story is well worth listening to. Never allow another to steal your self-worth. Someone may have the authority to impose the law, but the law or the rule is ready to be questioned. Following the law even though it is unjust. Condemnation without knowing the full story. Being judged by people who do not know you or have a bias of you. You may be judging people you do not understand. Be sure to have a fuller picture and avoid condemnation and judgment. Be discerning and be sure to be fair and just. Ooh, that was a long one. Goodness. We also got 31, which is believe. Strange encounters. Ooh. Do you know, I always thought unicorns were fabulous monsters too. I never saw one alive before. Well, now that we have seen each other, said the unicorn, if you believe in me, I'll believe in you. Is that a bargain? When Alice and the unicorn meet through the looking glass, neither of them can quite believe what is taking place. For the unicorn, humans are legendary, particularly human children. He never quite believed they were real and thought of them to be fabulous monsters. Alice, in her own way, says she never thought unicorns were real either. But there they are, the two fabulous monsters, and they each must accept the reality of the other's existence. This could be taking place in your life at present. You could be meeting people whose experiences are most unlike those you've had thus far. You may be encountering spirit beings or mystical events that make you wonder at the very nature of reality itself. Once you have experienced the strange realities of people unlike yourself and or spiritual encounters with guides, visions, or prophetic dreams, that leave you marveling at the universe. You can no longer deny the existence of things. Then your existence will seem just as strange to others. This card asks you to accept that others unlike yourself exist. They will then accept your differences too. In this way, we can begin to believe in each other and live side by side, different as we may be. Meeting people who are very unlike people you have met before. Mystic events and peculiar experiences. Interacting with different cultures, customs, and belief systems. Mystical encounters with elemental beings who interact with you. Finding they are just as real as you. Discovering new places, environments, and climates that are different to any you have experienced before. Something unusual that is most decidedly as real as you are. Alright. No. Now we're gonna go to 6, which is choices. Let's hear what Alan says about choices. It says, feeling blocked or restrained. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked. When Alice had been the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever going to get out of them. Choosing which way to go, a moment of decision, uncertain of what is best or what to do next, feeling like each door is closed, wanting to reach the next stage of your life, but not seeing a single way through. So you're being told you have choices, but all the doors are closed. Don't worry, one will open. We've got you are rare and free. Number 38. Are there any more people in the garden besides me? Alice said, not choosing to notice Rose's last remark. There's one other flower in the garden that can move about like you, said Rose. I wonder how you do it. A struggle to find places where people accept you or where you fit in. You must learn to embrace all that makes you different and become the very best you that you can possibly be. You will never be defined, so refuse to comply. Explore the frontiers of the human spirit and know how precious and rare you are. The next card is uncertainty. Choose who you will become. The caterpillar and Alice looked at each other for some time in silence. At last the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth and addressed her in a languid, sleepy voice. Who are you? Said the caterpillar. This was not an encouraging opening for a conversation. Alice replied rather shyly. I hardly know, sir. Just at present, at least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then. Good advice from an unexpected quarter. If you try, practice, and are willing to make mistakes along the way, you will become far more powerful and reach the place you are longing to be. Belong to your own dream and create your own life. So I wasn't dreaming after all, she said to herself. Unless we're all part of the same dream, only do I hope it's my dream and not the Red King's. Finding you have been following a plan in a past that is not truly your own. Deciding to take steps to live in a way that is authentic and truly your own. Rebelling. Wishing to live in your own world. No longer making decisions, staying with people, or in jobs that are not part of your dream. Not being directed or governed by desires or dreams of others. Deciding to make some big changes towards following the path that is your soul's true dream for its evolution this lifetime. So I know that was a lot of me reading. These are newer cards. I'm not real familiar with Alice, but I like them. I like what the book has to say. So basically, you know, don't judge people. Advice is going to come from an unexpected source. And decide what the fuck you want to do. It appears that you have a lot of choices and you're somewhat comfy and you can kind of, there's still things you can do. So go do them. Live your life the way that you want to. So I'm going to read some runes for you. Shake them up a little bit here in the bag. Alright. And I'll dump a few out. Usually go for 3.
How was everyone's day?
It was great. We made this chocolate crisp cream. It was the best day ever.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me look these up.
Do you really think these remedies made me disappear? Don't just mask your symptoms. Oh, no, no, no! Wake up Mucinex and quiet the cough. Treat the coughs with Mucinex DM.
Okay. So you got Haggle, which means health stone. And that's what it looks like. I got this Star Snowflake design there. It's the rune of sudden change. And you got Con, and Con stands for wisdom through suffering. You've gained some wisdom through your suffering. And we got the door. So this is the rune of planning, intelligence, and awareness. Symbolizes the continuity of family. So it looks like there's going to be a sudden change in your continuity of family. You're going to have to do your best to plan and use intelligence and awareness. So a sudden change in your family with possibly a chance to share your wisdom that you gained through suffering. So I'm going to say there's going to be a possible change in your family life. Someone that you can share your wisdom with. Well, that was fun. I don't know if any of it hit home for you. I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed it and didn't waste 35 minutes of your life. I don't know what just happened to my camera. Apparently I'm still on camera.